Good morning, everyone. I'm Jeff Higgins from Higgins Storm Chasing. It is Friday, the 13th of October 2017. I'm going to make this as quick as possible given the amount of rain forecast, but I will still like to show you some of the key features and work through it with you so you have a better understanding. Okay, there is a hell of a lot of rain forecast over the next 4 days from about Bundaberg down to Brisbane. Totals between 100 and 200 millimetres are expected, with potentially higher falls to 300. The heavy falls also extend into the central inland like that, from about Gladstone to Emerald to Longreach South, where areas of 50 to 100 are likely. And then the heavier rainfall into southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales is likely to stay east of the ranges. But you can clearly see there the areas of heavy rainfall over the next 4 days from the bottom. If we move over to the GFS rainfall forecast for the next 4 days from BSCH, you can also see there are bullseye areas starting to come up on the rainfall forecast there. 250 mil for Brisbane, 200 Sunshine Coast, and then 100 to 200 right up from about Gladstone down Fraser Island. That these can be concerning because it's showing the potential for some very, very heavy falls given the forecast scenario, and we have seen them in the past, though the trouble is with these is they can shift by 50 to 100 kilometres each day outside of the forecast. So if it's showing potential there for Brisbane, it could be down as far as the Gold Coast, or could be up at the Sunshine Coast or Gympie. But anywhere from about Gladstone, especially from Bundaberg to Brisbane, there is a potential for very heavy rainfall leading to flash flooding over the weekend and into Monday. The main days at this stage are Saturday, Sunday and Monday. And then the system shifts further north up towards Rockhampton. So these sort of forecast figures and bullseyes are concerning because it means that slow-moving, heavy rain, stationary thunderstorms can develop over an area and just dump 200 millimetres in a couple of hours, causing flooding. All right, so we'll move on and I'll show you another forecast chart. This is from windy.com. Next 6-day rainfall, with the bulk of that falling Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And you can see the area there, Sunshine Coast 200. And in fact, anywhere from Rockhampton south to, say, Lismore has a potential of 100 to 200 millimetres, and even locally higher falls in that, as we showed you a bullseye target on the GFS model. I'll quickly move on and just show you today now, because there are thunderstorms forecast for today as well through southeast and central Queensland. This is a severe weather threat chart. The higher the values, the more likely to be severe. You can see here that in southeast Queensland, showers and thunderstorms extending the wide Bay Burnett, showers and thunderstorms, and also northeast New South Wales, they are more likely to be inland because there's a southeast change that's moved up the coast and will put a boundary through there. Also, the sea breeze comes in during today in the afternoon and it puts a boundary just along the coast. It's like a little stable boundary. Normally we'd have some good steering winds to develop these inland and push them through to the coast. Only today that's not the case. There is no steering winds. Storms will go up and fall down on the same spot. So heavy rain underneath thunderstorms that do develop today. They could be anywhere just through the inland of southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales, and then becoming more widespread through central inland Queensland part, especially around, say, Emerald and Longreach today. Likely severe, likely heavy rainfall. The Brisbane weather balloon showed a dry slot in the mid-levels, which can also be an indicator of large hail. But again, given the nature of storms, there could be 5 minutes worth of large hail and then it craps itself because it can't get moving and it chokes itself and dies. So they'll be around, and some of these thunderstorms today will contribute to the totals that we are seeing, though the heavy rain is more likely to develop during the weekend. I'm just going to try and pull my map across here so I can show you a bit of a timeline. Right, so let's move on to Saturday and have a look. Saturday at, say, lunchtime, there are areas of heavy rainfall showing up from Brisbane to the Gold Coast, and that is due to a coastal trough developing along the coast and deepening. Right, so that's what we watch for. We watch for this trough along the coast. It develops here and moves north. It takes all the heavy rain with it. So that's what we want to have a look at. I can show you that trough also on GFS. You can see where the winds collide and come together there at the surface, all the way down from Goondiwindi Dalby back through Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast. But all of that moisture is getting pumped into this southeast coast region and converging in the winds, and that forces uplift, and that generates your heavy rain and storms. All right, so that is on Saturday at 10 a.m. That is the expected position of the trough, with just above the surface very, very moist northeast winds, and they're deep. They're right up to, say, 10,000 feet coming in off the ocean, so bringing a lot of moisture into that trough line area. If we progress through the timeline, I'll let it roll out. You can see Saturday afternoon that there's widespread activity, and Saturday night right along the southeast coast, with heavy rain areas in it as well, pushing up then towards the Sunshine Coast early Sunday morning. Again, this is following that trough further north, is forecast to shift further north. Doesn't mean that areas down south don't continue to get heavy rain, but the heavy rain sort of does tend to focus along that trough area. So you can see Saturday afternoon and night, there's a surface low developing out here off Fraser. It'll continue to direct showers and rain areas with possible moderate to heavy falls anywhere along the southeast coast due to that onshore flow. It's also feeding into an upper trough of cold air, so it all gets sucked up and dumped back down to the ground. So that's Sunday night. We're progressing through. This is rain indicators, by the way, being shown on these maps. So it does continue to continue out through Monday. Heavier falls then shifting up towards the Fraser Island, Gympie, Bundaberg region on Monday. But maintain moderate falls down here on the southeast coast on Monday as well. So that's why you get this blanket forecast from about Gladstone south to Lismore, where any of this potential is likely to occur. These bullseyes will really come down to the day. These heavy rain bullseyes, possible flash flooding, comes down to on the day. The models are only as good as they can be. They are really good, but they might just be 100 kilometres out with the bullseye targets of heavy rain. Like I mentioned, Brisbane, while it's there showing now, it might just be more focused on the Sunshine Coast or the Gold Coast. And that's why people just need to be aware of the potential. Potential is the key word. It's fully loaded. All the ingredients are there for this system to dump some very heavy rain and flooding across southeast Queensland over the weekend into Monday. These are the winds. I'll zap through these really quickly. I've already sucked up a lot of time. 10 o'clock, you can see at the surface these southeast winds are really starting to kick in now on Sunday, raking the moisture into the coast. That's why the coast does better. It gets all the moisture hit from the ocean, and then it sort of puffs out along the ranges. It runs out of moisture. Not saying there won't be showers and storms inland, but the heavier falls remain along the coast with these systems because they are right at the highest amount of moisture levels coming in from the ocean. Even on Monday morning there, you can still see winds are really drawing into Brisbane, and the trough lies there anywhere from Brisbane north to Bundaberg along the coast. The surface trough, and when you see those surface troughs like that, that's where the winds and the rain and the clouds come in and just get jammed up because they're being force lifted up into the atmosphere. Again, southeast coast there as well. Pushing out 8 minutes, I'll try and pick up this surface low too and show you that was a surface winds. There is a surface low expected to develop as well, a possible one. Might not be strong, but it certainly influences rainfall as well. This is Sunday at 10 a.m. You can see a surface low spinning there around about Fraser Island to Bundaberg. So anywhere south of that low gets the extra added moisture pumped in from the coast. And again, with the trough line through there, just gets lifted up and dumped back down, guys. I won't be surprised if we see a flood watch issued for Wide Bay Burnett Southeast Coast regions by the BOM later today. Maybe even a severe weather warning on Saturday for heavy rain. At the moment, they're laying back a little bit. They've got moderate to heavy falls in their forecast, but we're just sort of waiting on that potential flood watch and severe weather warning if they feel as though they may issue that for these regions, given the amount of rainfall which is being held by models now. Not just one, but all. Definitely going for some very heavy rain, guys. If you'd like to head over and support us, go to higginsstormchasing.com and become a premium member. Now, on our premium membership, when you get access to that, we hand draw very high resolution forecasts. That's 24-hour rainfall and thunderstorm forecast maps. They're very high resolution. They're the highest resolution maps on offer in Queensland and southeast Queensland in Australia by any weather agency. They're hand drawn and they're super high res. So they're worth it for $27 a year. You get access to these all year, and as well as our cyclone stuff as well. All right, guys, cheers. Thanks for watching and stay safe. We'll do more updates over the weekend. Live updates, obviously, for this system. So keep a close eye out on our Facebook page where we will send HSC app alerts out and members' email warnings and alerts out to members' emails as well. So it's going to be pretty busy, but there's going to be a lot of rain around. All right, thanks for watching.